up, guys? Just Rick here, and we're gonna be jumping onto the Holy Lands of Codes on my Gunslinger right now. This is actually my, I don't know, my 5th attempt at this, and we're just gonna restart the recording because I'm trying to get this dimensional sponsor. We're gonna keep going into the dimensional sponsor. I just didn't want the video to be too long here, and we are doing the event right now, so the event should be spawning the dimensional bosses at 3 times the regular rate. And still have not gotten it. And I've had some shitty luck lately getting him to spawn at all. The first day, you know, I didn't have time during the week to play it. When the update actually came out on Wednesday, I didn't have time at all. But I still managed to do like 3 dungeons. I got him to spawn twice, and I was like, holy shit. When it comes weekend time, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a ton of dimensionals. And sadly, I've spent more than 300 stamina before it even reset Saturday, so I hope to get mobs to spawn, and 300 stamina, I didn't even get them to spawn one time. And the thing is, I got them to spawn way more often. I felt like at least twice would have spawned before the event, so shenanigans right there, that's bullshit. But anyway, I have seen people get the spawn rate and stuff like that, so it's not like, well, maybe it is, but I don't know. I just got unlucky right there, so bullshit. I still call 300 stamina and no spawn. That's some horse manure. But anyway, guys, just want to say thank you guys for the reception on the Aegis Terror video. It was an awesome reception. Sadly, I haven't been able to do any kind of like serious editing since forever. So I think one of the most recent ones I've done was the UG guide, and you know, since then I've done mostly easy gameplay videos, and I was like one of the first ones I could do the script again. Those are the only ones you guys seem to like commenting on. The other ones you gotta just, you watch them, thanks. I thank you, but I don't get any feedback. How dare you guys, man? Give me some feedback, man. I really want to answer some comments. Because of that, I'm going to push the comments back this week. I've already planned that. I did not get very many comments, is what I'm saying here. So, but yeah, that aside, I had a pretty busy week, and I swear I had a pretty busy yesterday and today. And I will get back to that later. But let's just say I have been, well, I gotta admit, first and foremost, I have been playing other games other than C9 during the time that I haven't been playing C9. So, don't think I haven't been doing anything. But, reason I haven't been playing C9 is, quite frankly, as I mentioned in the update video, the design code blocked my recording program, and while I was trying to get it fixed, they kept telling me that they would fix it, and that kept getting pushed back for longer than, I would say, close to 2 months. And so, during that time, I've literally been uploading older videos, tricking you guys into thinking I've been making videos since then, but truth be told, those are all like old videos, old PvP matches. I have not signed into Rick, and there, I didn't get the spawn. Damn it. I have not signed into Rick in like more than that time, so I mean, some guys have been PMing me in game like, hey Rick, haven't seen you in a while, where have you been? And I'm like, gone, man, because I haven't been able to record. Like, the only thing I do on C9 is record, you know? So when you take that away from me, it's like taking my soul away from me. So I kind of use that as an excuse to make other videos, and quite frankly, it's not an excuse. I really did want to make other videos, and that was just my my reason to. So I realized that C9 is like one of my favorite games ever made, and I'm really happy it came to the Western market, and I really want to promote it. It's not getting very much promotion, and you know, we can blame that to whoever, but I am going to try to fix that. I have been since it came out, and you know, I've gotten a lot of people to play, so I think I've done my part on the C9 front. But I think in the bigger picture, and the reason why I really want to branch out into other MMOs, is that the action MMO genre, and especially, well, excuse me, the MMO genre, the free-to-play MMO genre, and especially the action MMO genre, are not getting as much publicity and love as they should be. I think they're going to be the future of MMOs. I think the days of the point-and-click MMO are long gone. I don't think very many people actually want to play point-and-click MMOs anymore. And I think, you know, action MMOs are going to be the future. Obviously, that's what I play mostly on the channel. And free-to-play MMOs, they're just a leagues behind mainstream MMOs. And you guys probably know what I'm talking about if you guys are watching these videos. Our games that, or the games that I play and the games that you probably play too, are not as popular as you might hope they would be. And that, I mean, when you compare a game like C9 to a game like League of Legends, and I hate to say it, everybody knows League of Legends, everybody knows World of Warcraft, everybody knows StarCraft, and the reason being, they're just not as popular in this Western market where most people like playing mainstream kinds of games. It's just, that's how it goes. And me, I kind of like being the, I'm not going to say I'm a hipster or anything, but I really like the free-to-play model and action MMOs in general. I really want to get that promotion out there. So I do play a lot of other games other than C9. C9 just fits the mold of what I really like the best, I think. But, you know, overall, as a whole, I play other games, and I think I should do that. The same service I try to do on C9 and onto other games as well. So there's my rationale for that. I know a lot of you guys don't agree with that. I've been getting vocal people now who are like, more C9 videos, man, fuck all this other, I don't even watch your other shit. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, but somebody else does, and somebody out there will, hopefully. And you know, I have gotten, you know, one of the greatest things I told you guys before was that people would play C9 because they saw my videos. And I was like, you know, that's probably the greatest thing you can ever tell me, is to know that my games have gotten you to, you know, try something out that you probably wouldn't have otherwise. And that's really something that I'd like most, I think, when making the videos and stuff, and the guides, and helping you guys out. And I'm just trying to spread that out to other games as well that are, you know, equally as fun. So there's my rationale for that. That's about as best I'm going to be able to explain that. So, yeah. There's an important part about this dungeon. Now talking back to C9, and there's a portion of this dungeon that I'm about to go to that is kind of reliant on how well you complete this dungeon, or this section right there. And it's not explained. That's not how any of the dungeons are in the game at all. Basically how this game works is you kill the target mobs, you get to progress to the boss. Now, as you can see on the minimap, there are no target mobs. Target mobs appear as red larger circles. These are just red small circles. These are not primary mobs. You do not have to kill them to get to the end of the dungeon. However, in this portion in particular, that's not how it works, and it's really weird. If you guys know any of the other dungeons in the game, there are target mobs that will open up the doors. However, there's a little scripted part in this section that spawns 2 waves of enemies. Here's the first wave of 2 guys. And oftentimes what will happen is the second wave will not spawn. And I think it's happening partially right now. And it is just a bug that is persistent. I have no idea what causes it. And it just, sometimes it take a long time to spawn. Sometimes they don't spawn at all. One caveat to trying to fix that is killing as many mobs as you can before you get to this point. And I think the only mobs that actually affect that are the mobs previous to that section right there. So, I mean, this is done after tons of statistical analysis of how to fucking get past that. But basically, that's what I've seen has worked in the past. So, if I can explain that at all, I know the dimensional boss farming is going well underway. So, if you guys are wondering on why that shit is not working, trust me, you're not the only one. And I have no idea. I've already reported it in the bug report. That's a big one that I don't like, is that part right there is nothing like anything else in the game, and it's, yeah, it's just really time consuming and annoying. So as you guys can see, we have not gotten this asshole to spawn. I did perform a trick before while I was talking. I will showcase what I did during that trick now. I pretty much tell you guys this trick every single time I get a chance, especially during stream. But basically what I'm going to do while this guy does his invincible attack soon, should be doing it soon, hopefully. Come on, do it soon. Alright, there's his invincible attack. I'm just going to kind of run away for a second. I am going to use my other account, which I label as my solo duo account because I'm basically playing 2 characters at once. And I'm going to intrude party invite him while we're in the dungeon. And basically that is just going to allow him to be a party member and act as if he played through the entire dungeon. Now you might wonder why I might do something like that. The answers are simple. The dungeon rewards after you kill a boss. You get a bead corresponding to the level range, which in this case it's master, so we both get master level beads. If we're in the same guild, we also get guild points and GP bags every time we do that. Also, these bardial seal pieces are dependent on how many people are in the party, so you can get double amount of those. As you guys can see, obviously that didn't take very much work at all. All I had to do was invite him before I killed the boss, and I was able to get all of those things right at once. And the greatest thing about it is the other character that I invited didn't have to go through the entire dungeon with me. I just had to invite him before I killed the boss, and I was able to get all of those things. And again, I just basically ran this dungeon solo and acted as if I did it duo. But you guys can see how abusive this method can get if you can actually have friends or guildmates and invite up to 4 different people, or excuse me, 3 different people, and receive the benefits as if you had done it with 4 people throughout. You know, you can do a solo dungeon, invite 3 people right before you kill the boss, and then get a whole bunch of, you know, GP bags and beads. And this is especially important. This method is the absolute best I could fathom on how to farm up guild furniture bags, and these are GP bags that are designated for certain dungeons. It's something that you might have to do a little bit of research on, but basically if you're trying to do a certain dungeon to get a certain guild furniture, that is the absolute best way to do it. Have like 4 guys doing dungeons and 3 guys always joining people when they get to the boss room. You can generate so many GP bags. That's about as fast as I can possibly think you could do it. So anyway, that might be a video I might have to make, but I have been pretty much describing that method to everybody I can because solo duo is very beneficial for that reason. If you have no friends like me, or if you're in a guild, it's even more beneficial. So just something you should take heed of. You don't have to do it, obviously, but I think it's just easier than having a full party of 4 doing this dungeon when you don't need to. But anyway, guys, as you guys saw, the Anubis did spawn, so I'm going to go take a look. I haven't had much luck with the Anubis as well as the dimensional boss, so that has been a problem here. Hopefully we don't have to... Like, I have recorded this video like 3 times now, and come on, give me a damn dimensional boss. Had no luck there. He didn't drop anything, so we're just gonna keep going. This section right here, you want to try to kill as many enemies as you can. Even try to kill those scorpions, I'd say, because oftentimes this is the area that causes the enemies not to spawn. Most of the time it's because the enemies here would try to walk or follow you across this ravine or this ridge or whatever, and they kind of get stuck right there, and those are the enemies that for some reason cause the second wave not to spawn. At least that's what I've seen has been the case, so I have no idea again why that happens. And like I said, I've already reported it to WebZen, and yeah, we'll see how long that takes to get fixed. I don't know if it's really a bug or not, or if it's intended, or if it's timed. I don't think it's timed, but something it just doesn't ring true to how all the dungeons have worked previously in the past, and that's mostly what annoys me the most, is that it wastes so much time often. So I mean, yeah, this is time that I could be going to kill the boss, but instead I'm waiting for these fucking guys to spawn. Speaking of time, this is a terrible segue. Speaking of time, I spent a lot of time today, and luckily these guys spawned. I spent a lot of time today with my computer shut off, and there is a really long story. There's a really long story, so we'll start telling it now, the abridged version, And if we don't get the dimensional boss, you guys will hear the entire story of why I could not play anything for a long time. Mostly yesterday and today. And we'll just start by saying, fuck you, Martin. Martin caused all this, by the way. So I was doing some homework on Friday. I was finishing up some lab because I don't want to do it during the week. And I was just doing that, and Martin tells me... No, I think actually this was on Thursday. It was on Thursday. Martin tells me, Rick, get on. There's an alert mission on Warframe. And look, the guy didn't fucking spawn again. So guess what? You guys get to hear this whole story. There's a guy in Warframe. There's an alert mission on Warframe, and how those work is you got like an hour or two to kill or to do a certain mission. Usually it's harder than normal. And if you can do it, you are guaranteed some prize that it tells you. And this alert mission in particular guaranteed a very good prize. I forget what it was. And so I was like, okay, fine. So I get online. And during the course of us playing, my CPU crashes. Oh no, not my CPU. My GPU crashes. My AMD Radeon card, which I admit is kind of old, it crashes. And that has never happened to me before, where a game has somehow destroyed my video shit so hard that it crashed my whole video card. It crashed it so bad because I knew it crashed it bad because when it crashed it, it made my screen go black, and when it came back, it was the Windows default like 1100 by whatever resolution. It was not the normal resolution. That's because the graphics card, which usually provides a good resolution, it got fucked up. So I mean, I had to turn off my computer and pray that when it came back on, it wasn't broken. Luckily for me, it wasn't. However, unluckily for me, during that time, I was actually rendering a video while I was playing the game. For some reason, after I tried to render it again, the render time increased by like 10. It took 10 times as long, and it was not a long video. It was like a test video, basically. It was like a minute or something long, and it took like 30 minutes. I was like, what the fuck just happened? My GPU crashes, everything gets fucked up. So I mean, I'm doing all these like updates and stuff. I'm like, well, maybe my drivers got messed up. I updated the drivers, and after all said and done, and again, we're gonna go through here again. After all said and done, I reset my computer because Windows decided to want to update too, and I just updated the drivers. I just restart the computer. When I turn it back on, this motherfucker won't turn on. And this was, I think, yesterday. This son of a bitch won't turn on, and it will not go past the BIOS. It will load the BIOS. It tries to load Windows, and then it crashes, and then restarts the BIOS again. And I'm like, wow, I just crashed my Windows now. And so I literally spend all day trying to find a way to flash a USB device to get a restored Windows 7 and restore my freaking thing. And I didn't have freaking CDs to do it. And yeah, no, let me tell you, that took shit longer than it needed to, but I finally got it working again. And when I got it working again, my problem with the GPU was still fucked. For some reason, the thing wouldn't work anymore. I mean, it wouldn't render anymore. It basically would be infinite render times if I made a video any longer than like 15 minutes. And I'm sorry if I'm talking like way too technical now. I sound way smarter than I am because by now I've done like so much research. I've done like 2 days worth of research to try and fix my problem here. Which started with Martin, by the way. You remember when I started this story, we blame Martin, because that motherfucker started this. But again, we spend all day trying to fix the computer back to actually running, and then now we're trying to fix the computer back to how it was rendering before, which again, to this day, to right now, to this point right now, it is still not rendering as fast as it was before. Now, during all this time, I should mention that if you try to restore your stuff, if you try to fix your stuff, it takes a long time to do these kinds of updates. Mostly because when you do an update like restoring, you have to restore everything back to the way it was before. That is, re-update everything and all that. Now, in the process of doing that, it didn't fix anything. That my rendering times, and the hardest fucking thing about explaining rendering time is, you know, my GPU and stuff were still working fine, and you know, I don't really know what's causing the render times to be so much longer now than it was before it crashed. And that's the hardest thing to explain, because I don't know if it's a hardware or software issue. And so during this time, while it's updating, it takes a long time, I was doing a ton of research on hardware, because I was under the impression that I might have fried something broke, and I need to replace it. I don't know what it is. It could even be the CPU that got maybe messed up, I don't know, overheated or surged or something, I don't know. And so I literally doing a ton of research, and while I was doing that, I fell I can just say I got way into it. I got way into it, like more than I intended. And the thing is, I was looking for new parts at that point. I was looking for new computer parts, and it got to the point where it was evolving, where I wanted to make my own fucking PC. And thing is, this is my father's PC. This is actually my father's gaming laptop. I mean, not laptop, excuse me, desktop. It's not his. He basically made it for me, but you know, he made this like 5 years ago. And here's the dimensional, finally. Good God. And you know, it got to the point where I wanted to make my own device, is what I'm saying here. So that's basically what happened, and I did a ton of research. I basically spent all day today and yesterday researching like all this stuff. And so I am basically a desktop build it yourself enthusiast. I know all it takes to make one now, and the only problem is that this hobby of mine that I've created actually costs money, and I don't have a job, so I mean, it's an expensive hobby that I have no way to fund, but I still really am getting into it. So I don't know, maybe later on, son, when you're older, but you know, I'm just a student now. I don't have no damn money, but you know, I really got into it. I don't know, we'll see how we're gonna be able to fund such a project. But you know, I didn't really think I would get into it as much as I did, but I really regret not, because you know, I don't know if how many of you guys know, before this I used to do I used to host a game, and I was more of a software guy, if I think about it. I did more like server side stuff with Martin. I even had my own client for the game that I compiled myself. I should have used Ultimate Fury or just regular Fury. So yeah, I've been more of a software guy. I've learned a bunch of software and coding stuff. I made my own scripts for the game, and I never knew, and I'm a mechanical engineer. I tell you guys, I'm more of a physical kind of guy, and I never thought that, you know, circuits and stuff for hardware would be more up my alley, like this much. I mean, literally talking about the same stuff that I talk about in class kind of thing. And I was like, why haven't I gotten into this sooner? This is so interesting to me. I could really make my own thing, make my own device, and like totally be in this shit. And I can't believe I didn't think about it till now. So that being said, guys, we didn't get shit books, man. Empower, freezing traps, divine multi. Anyway, we finally got that guy to spawn. I think it took us 4 times. And you guys have found the story of how I have found my way into being a desktop enthusiast. I've learned so much in this past day. I still blame Martin, but I also thank him for giving me this time to reflect upon my hardware choices on PC, when it comes to PC building. So anyway, guys, that has been my story for the past week or so. I've been playing a lot of Dragoness, so gonna be showing a few videos on that, on my leveling adventures. But anyway, guys, that has been my Dimensional Boss Hunt farm for today. And man, I have been talking for a long time, so I'm done. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And if you guys stay to the end, I will catch you guys later.